Okay, so just a little fair warning. I look like Trashy McTrash Bucket today. So, you've been warned. I'm sorry. I look like so bad today, but I've been really sick. I started the keto diet like 4 or 5 days ago, and for like the last 3 to 4 days I've been throwing up constantly, so I look really bad, and I have like a lot of like little like bruising, like I don't know what these are called, like blood spots or something around my eyes from throwing up so much. I don't know if that's like normal or not. Like, I know about the keto flu, but I don't know if you're supposed to like throw up this much. So if anybody that watches this has any idea about keto and the keto flu and throwing up, please let me know if this is normal or not, because it's been very stressful. But I got this PR package in the mail today, and I have been looking forward to it so much since it was announced. All of the promo pictures with Norvina and the ice cream stuff, like, oh my god, those pictures like are so flipping amazing. And so I got my PR package today, and this is how it came. It came with this, and then it also came with a set of coral lipsticks, which I'm super excited about. Now, just looking at these from here, you can't tell much of a difference, but when you open them and like swatch them, there are subtle differences in the shades. I've seen her wearing the pastel coral shade a lot, so I cannot wait to try that. Also, in case you couldn't tell by the rattiness, this is absolutely my real hair, my real gross, disgusting hair, but I feel so bad. I'm actually like sweating right now, so I don't know how this makeup thing is going to turn out. That's why I don't have foundation on, because I'm so sick that I'm like sweating, and my voice is a little bit hoarse too, so please just bear with me. And if I'm not like my normal self, then this is why. But anyways, inside of here we have the Norvina palette and another eyeshadow primer. You guys know that the eyeshadow primer is my favorite, so when I saw that we were getting another one in our boxes, I was really super excited about it, and I even tweeted about it, and I was like, is that an extra base? And Norvina said yes, that this base was actually made for her palette. So like this Norvina palette's what it was made for, and you guys know I use mine all the time, and I'm getting super low, so I'm very, very grateful that they sent that. It's just like a really nice added touch. So this is what the unicarton looks like. It's really pretty purple, and it's got like the gold like line accents, and so the actual palette looks the same as the unicarton on the front, and then on the back it's just black, and this is a new packaging. So for example, here's the Alyssa Edwards palette, and this is the typical ABH like size and the pans, and they usually have 14 shades, and this one actually has 25 deluxe shades. And what that means is the pan sizes, you can see, are vastly larger than their normal pan sizes. So these palettes are usually, I think, $48, and I think this one's going to be $60. But as you can see, it's a lot larger. The pan sizes are larger, and there's a lot more shades. So as long as the formula is good, then I think that it'll totally be worth that. Another thing that I really like about this new style is that the shade names aren't like names that they came up with. They actually named them like rows A through E, and then 1 through 5. I really debate about doing swatches for you guys, because I just don't believe in swatches. Like, I think I'm gonna pass on the swatches for that, just because like I'd rather see how it works on my eyes. I'm gonna start off with the ABH eye primer. You guys know this is my favorite. This is what I love to use. Okay, so today I think I want to do something a little bit easier to achieve. So I think the colors I'm going to be using are C1 and A5. I might throw in a couple of other colors there, but I really love this mustard shade, and then A5 is hot pink. Come on now, y'all already knew that I was going to go for that shade. I really love E4 as well, so I might see if I can incorporate that a little bit. But I do have a couple of other looks planned with that shade. I have like notes on my notepad, like, because when they released the pictures of this, I was like so obsessed that I like went into my notes and like already have like mapped out several looks with this palette. So I'm going to start off with the shade A5, and I'm going to focus this on my outer corner, and then I'm going to tap it lightly towards the center, but I'm not going to do too much there, especially not right at the moment. So I just want to make sure I get like some good pigment here, and then I'll like start to blend it out some. And I just like to, with like barely anything left on my brush, I like to just move that product in small circular motions up towards the brow bone and out a little bit. Don't want to go too crazy with this. I know it's like hot pink, but okay. And then once I get towards here, I'm very lightly going to dust it so that it's a very light through here. I'm going to pat this in a little more. We need a little more color here. I'm gonna kind of do it on the bottom so that it's kind of like a little shape here, like a U. Well, it's like a sideways U. I'm just gonna kind of leave this space open. I know I put like a little bit there already, but I'm just gonna go over it with the mustard shade. And then I just go in with the little, I just take like a little bit of product at a time to build that up. I'm going to take a clean Sigma E40, which is my favorite blending brush, and I'm just very lightly going right over the edges to soften it and diffuse it. You can see it just slightly softening up and blending that out. Such a pretty color. This is so pigmented. A little blending trick that I like to do is I like to take the brush, this E40, and I like to press it like right on the edge, like right at the edge, like on the actual shadow, like not on the blank space, because I don't want to blend this onto the blank space anymore, but I just want to like diffuse this a little bit so that the mustard shade kind of goes in and blends in well. So I take it on the edge and I literally brush it backwards, and I'll like do little circular motions a little bit, but I don't drag it this way at all. But do you see how that just gives like a really nice soft diffused look? That is like one of the best tricks I can give you for blending. It really makes a difference, especially if you like have already taken it out like pretty far and you don't want to go out any farther. This will help you to reel it in, and this is the best brush that I've found to do that with. So you can see there are no harsh edges at all. So now I'm going to go in with D1, which is that mustard shade that I really liked. And I'm just going to start placing that on the blank space. And I'm going to do the same thing where concentrate most of the color on the inner corner, and then I'm going to fade it towards the pink because that's going to help us to blend it together a little bit. So without much product on my brush, I'm just going to do like little small circular motions around the edge to come up and meet the pink. And then I'm just barely going to tap it into the pink, and you can see that it's pretty effortless and it's blending really well. That, you know, is a very nice testament to these shadows. And I really don't know why I did like this little patch right here. I think that looks a little bit weird, so I'm just gonna go back in with the A5 shade and I'm just gonna tap right over it very lightly. Go back in with my E40 to blend it right here. I think I'm going to take just a little bit of E2, which is this orangey shade. This color is very pigmented. I don't really want that much color, so I'm just going to like dust some of it off. And I'm just going to tap it like right where these two shades meet, just to help it have like a little more of a transition into each other. And this color is just so pretty. And then with the same Sigma E40, I'm just tapping over it to blend it out, just kind of like tapping and dragging a little bit, just very, very lightly. I'm gonna put a little bit more of that orange here, and then curve it like this, like kind of how I was doing out here, but I'm gonna do it like better here, just so that it's like got like a little shape to it, just something a little different, something kind of cute. I'm going to take a little bit of C1, which is the white color, and I'm going to use that for the brow bone, just to highlight, and I'm going to also blend it into the edges a little bit. So place the product higher to your brow bone, and then blend it down and outwards and inwards. But you want the majority of the product to be here, so that it blends down easily and effortlessly. So I like to use the primer right underneath my lower lash line. Okay, and then under that I'm going to go in with some concealer because I do have all of these spots underneath. I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I usually don't use this under my eyes, but it is super full coverage, and that's desperately what I need right now. So then I'm going to go back in with that pink shade, and I'm going to focus it on the outer part of my under eye here, and of course I'm going to drag it up to meet this. Then I'm going to go back in with the mustard shade. I'm going to focus that right in here, so it just kind of comes around in a circle. And then I'm going to go back in with that orange shade to place right in between those. Okay, so I did a little bit of contouring and stuff underneath my foundation like I normally do, and now I'm going in with foundation. This is the ABH foundation. I have been sticking with this, but I have switched to shade 200W, and I did that because this foundation does oxidize, so even though it looks light on me right now, it oxidizes to like my perfect shade. It looks pretty close, but normally this shade would just like really wash me out, but instead it just gives me like the perfect shade once it oxidizes. And also I'm a little bit pale right now because I've been sick, so I just feel like, you know, this shade is gonna work regardless. I do want to encourage you guys to follow my Instagram if you don't, because I do create more looks on there than I do on here, just because it's a lot easier and it doesn't take as much time. But I've been creating like little mini tutorials of my looks on TikTok, so there's like no editing time, and it makes it so much easier. And so I've actually been posting some mini tutorials of all of my looks on there, even the ones that I don't film for YouTube. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, please go follow me over there if you enjoy my looks and my content. I know I look ghostly white right now, like so pale, which I am pale, but you see how it's like lighter than my neck? Don't worry about that because it really does oxidize. I do look super crazy right now though. Okay, and so one thing that I have learned is that I cannot use this foundation without the setting powders. The setting powders are crucial. I do feel like this foundation is not like super long wearing, but it's more long wearing with the setting powders. And also I do feel like the foundation, the more that I've gotten to wear it, because I did do a review on that and I'll post it up here, I do feel like without the setting powders it does settle and creases. I feel like it's already starting to settle like up here, but when I put the powder on, it like literally looks airbrushed. Even when I go to like edit my videos, my skin just looks so, like, you can tell like already. Do you see? Like, I know I did a review on this already, but but you know, I've never been able to use powders very much, so this just blows my mind. Do you see like how airbrushed that looks now? That's what it looks like in my pictures and everything, and it's just like amazing because I couldn't do that before. And do a little bronzing, and the reason I'm showing you guys these products, a lot of times I just do like the eyes and then not the rest, but these are some products that I did reviews on. I just kind of like to update you that these are products that I'm still using. These are the ones that I am still using. This Hip Dot X SpongeBob Sandy Cheeks blush bronzer palette, this is like my favorite go-to right now. I love that bronzer. It's just such a pretty like bronzer, and it's not too orangey. It's like perfect for me like when I tan in the summers, which obviously I'm not tan right now. I like don't go outside anymore, but when I tan in the summers, this is like the shade that I tan, like the pretty like natural sun tan color, not the orangey fake tan color. And then I do like to take a little more of the vanilla setting powder just to carve this out here, just to give it a more defined cut. I'm going to go in with blush. This is the Milk Makeup Lip and Cheek in the shade Work. I use this a lot, and it's just really easy for me. I just like to dab it on there, and then I blend it out with my finger. It gives the perfect amount of like a blush. It's also, you know, cream based, so it helps the texture that I have there. And then I'll come back to highlight because I've really been doing a lot of rainbow highlights lately, and I'm gonna do one again today, of course, and then I'll show you guys like how I do that. Okay, so next I'm going to go in with some little jewels. Like the makeup community we've been doing like editorial style like looks for a long time, but we've recently been super inspired by the show Euphoria, myself included. I love the show. I love Zendaya. Like I love everything about the show. Makeup on that show is phenomenal. So I'm going to use some little jewels today, and these are what I'm going to use, and they came in this package right here. This is NYX Pro self-adhesive rhinestone stickers, and I actually got this from one of my subscribers. Her name is Karen, and she is super sweet and super nice, and I was totally shocked that she sent these to me, and it was just so nice of her. So I definitely have been using them, and I wanted to incorporate them in a YouTube tutorial because that's where she watches me, is on YouTube. So thank you so much, Karen, for sending these. And I always stick them on using lash glue. So I think I'll stick one here, stick one there, and then I think I'll stick a little one here and a little one here, and then like one right here. Okay, so I mixed a little bit of that pink eyeshadow and the ABH base on the back of my hand, and I'm going to use that for my waterline. I am going to go in with the shade C2, and I'm just going to pop that on the inner corner to like highlight that a little bit. Okay, so for highlight, I'm going to go in with those same 3 shades that I already used. I'm going to start off with the yellow, and I'm just going to kind of bring it like this, curve it up a little right here, and then bring it to like right there. I know this seems a little bit weird, but it's hard to get even just colored highlighters to show up really well like this, and this is my trick to do it. If you put the eyeshadow underneath, then that fixes it all. I'm going to do a little bit of the orange underneath. Now, I don't want it that pigmented, so I'm definitely going to make sure that I blend it. And then I'm going to do the pink right under that, which is also going to look like blush. And then I'd like to take a clean brush and kind of blend the edges just like we do the eyeshadow. and then I go in with highlighter over top. So since there is this really pretty C2 shade, I'm just gonna go right over top of that yellow with it. There's actually a sparkly orange in here, so I'm going to use that too, which is E1. And then I'm also going to use B3 because that's a sparkly pink. And so just adding those like over top of the actual color just helps it to be more pigmented. It shows up in pictures more, shows up in person way more. Okay, and then after I have the shimmers on, I like to take my finger and I like to just tap around the whole thing, because it just kind of helps blend and mesh those together. So in the Anastacio Aurora Glow Kit, there's this middle shade on the top called Luna, and I love that. I love to put that right at the top of the first shade. So since the mustardy yellow shade was first, I like to do that, and then I'm taking like my ring finger and blending that out, and it just makes it pop a lot more. And then I will also use this as my nose highlight. Okay, and then for liquid lipstick, I'm going to go in with the shade Red Coral. This lipstick is so pretty, and I feel like that's the one that's going to suit this look the best. Okay, so I feel like this one's like a little too bright for this look. Like, it just feels like too much going on. So I'm taking it off. I think I'm going to go in with Pastel Coral, which is the shade that I was like the most interested in anyways. Oh yeah, that tones it down some, and it's not like as in your face. I don't know, I'll probably look at the footage and wish I'd have kept the first one, but okay, you guys, this is the finished look right here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry I looked so trashy, and thank you guys for sticking by me no matter what. I'm reconsidering this lip color though. I'm not sure it looks good with me with like the rest of this going on. I'm thinking about changing it to a nude, so if my pictures look like a nude lipstick, then that's why. Thank you guys so much. I love you all. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my material, and I'll see you in my next one.